Tesla just made a huge mistake. They are in serious trouble, not just with critics and those salty investors, but also with their most loyal fans and longtime Tesla owners. Seems like almost everybody is really mad at Elon and Tesla. That's because they just made a huge mistake that's really too big to ignore and something we've just gotta talk about. Let's talk about why this one recent move from Tesla is such a big deal and why people are so upset. It seems like it's not supposed to be a big deal, but not so fast, because this is a little piece that is a really big deal, and one move that I think really hurts Elon, it hurts Tesla, it hurts their reputation, and might turn people off from Tesla altogether. Let's get into all the drama. Let me break down all the juicy details and everything you need to know. Also, huge thanks to MagBak for sponsoring this video. They make a beautiful, super sleek, custom wireless charger that is made to fit perfectly right inside of the minimal interior of the Tesla. I've got a lot more to say on this, but more on that in a bit. Now, to give a quick recap of the drama for those who don't know, Elon announced a few weeks ago that Tesla would no longer be including the Tesla mobile connector with new cars. Regardless of price or model, you would not be getting this mobile connector when you took delivery of a brand new Tesla. Meaning now the new owners who take delivery of their cars will have no way to charge it out of the box, so to speak. Or basically, when you go pick up your new car, if you didn't do any work ahead of time, you will have no way to charge this car. And I should probably clarify that the mobile connector refers to this sort of cable, the special cable that has one end that goes into your Tesla and the other end that's sort of modular that can go into different wall outlet receptacles. So if it's just a basic 120 volt outlet, you can plug into that. If it's a 240 volt outlet, you can plug into that. Basically, there's a number of different connectors you can sort of snap into place so you can perfectly charge your car and get a really speedy charge whether you're at home or on the go. And before we go any further into the story, I know that people have very strong opinions on this. Some think that Tesla is flat out wrong, while others think that Tesla is making the right move. But just looking at things on a very surface level for a second here, don't you think it's sort of crazy that if you spend this kind of money, $50, $60, $70, $80, $100,000 on your brand new electric car, that you have no way to charge it with the stuff that comes with your car? Doesn't that sort of seem just crazy? And I know some people would say, well, it's only $200, and what's $200 in the grand scheme of things when you're already paying this much for the car? But in my opinion, and again, this is just my opinion here, an extra $200 on top of this already really expensive purchase is just sort of a way for Tesla to milk their customers even more, and just another sort of money-grabbing opportunity that doesn't need to be there in the first place. And I think Elon's sort of justification for why they're not including this just isn't right. And right off the bat, personally, one of the reasons why I think this is such a big deal and it's a negative thing is that I'd venture to guess most people buying Teslas, especially these days, are buying their very first electric car. This is their very first EV. This is their first taste of ditching traditional, combustion engine vehicles, ditching the ICE life and going to the EV. And they're sort of in the beginning stages of understanding this stuff. Many of course, are doing their research on what car to buy and stuff like that. But many people I talk to every single day don't exactly know the ins and outs of how to charge their car, what kind of equipment you need, what kind of plug you need. And many might not know that, starting now, when you take delivery of your car, unless you did the work ahead of time, you've got no way to charge your car at home. And I think Tesla's answer to this would be that, hey, now on the order page, we have a whole section for charging, which they do. They now give you the option to get a mobile charger or Tesla's wall connector. And that's a good thing. But still, Tesla isn't known for their stellar communication throughout the entire ordering process. And even with delivery too, when I just went through my delivery back in January in the beginning of the year, it was pretty much like no contact. Like I signed in, I walked out of the car, and that was it. There was no explanation as to what was in the car, what wasn't with the car, all that stuff. So if someone's really not doing their due diligence, or they just happen to accidentally skip that part and not do it, they're going to be out of luck because no one's really going to explain to them what the consequence is of not having that special cable. The second thing that just sort of grinds my gears on this is that for Tesla to make this move is sort of a little, I think, contradictory to their stance on being the champion of electrification and pushing people to more, greener energy sources and, pushing people away from gas and fossil fuels over to EVs. That's a great mission to have. And they've even taken bold steps to open up their Tesla ecosystem to other EVs, like with superchargers, which I'll get back to in a moment. but for them to be the champion of electrification and to push people to adopt EVs, and they're pushing many people for the very first time to buy EVs, to not include such an important part of the process, such a critical piece of equipment, it just seems a little slimy to me. And you have to explain to people, yes, you're getting this amazing car, but you're gonna have to pay extra if you wanna charge it at home. To me, it just seems so simple that if Tesla really wants to be the champion of electrification and push people to EVs, they should be making the process as easy as possible. And that is not to say they should be handing out discounts. That's not to say that they should be making all their cars, ultra low cost, because Tesla's doing just fine with their sales right now. But this, removing the actual charging cable, just sort of seems crazy. And again, don't get me wrong, I am a huge Tesla fan. I have owned 2 Teslas. I drive a Tesla. I've converted hundreds, if not thousands of people over to driving their own Teslas themselves. But I don't think I can ignore or get behind what Elon is citing low usage statistics for this mobile connector. I have seen multiple stats, a lot of them being anecdotal evidence, of people just saying this is what I use, but also sort of the research I've done and the stats that I've seen say that the vast majority of people, over half, are using the mobile connector to charge their cars. I understand that some people might not use them. Some people just use other means. Some people have multiple Teslas, so they only need one. That's totally fair. But I feel like for a lot of people, this is like the default way they charge their car. I don't think the low usage statistic is actually that low. Now, before we continue with more of the Tesla charging drama, let's take a quick break to talk about something way more exciting and way happier, and that is one of my favorite Tesla accessories of all time, and that is this beautiful, pristine, premium wireless charger made, of course, by this video's sponsor, MagBak. This custom wireless charger from the folks at MagBak is made specifically for the simple, minimal, elegant interior of your Tesla. It's made to install right in the corner of your screen, so you still have full access to your screen, all the controls, stuff like that, but it's also gonna put your iPhone in the best place possible. This also makes it absolutely perfect for unlocking your phone with Face ID, something you can't do when your phone is down below. And also, if you wanna make a FaceTime call or watch a video, this just puts your phone in the perfect place. Not only is this thing delivering 10 watts of Qi wireless charging directly to your phone, but it's harnessing the power of MagSafe technology, which means a couple of really cool things. You can put the phone on there really easily, horizontally or vertically, depending on the app you want to use. And also, you can use it without a case if you've got a MagSafe phone like here, iPhone 12 or newer, or you can use one of any MagSafe cases, including my favorite here, this beautiful blue one from the folks at MagBak. And the folks at MagBak just released some all new cases for the S22 Plus and S22 Ultra. These will ship in June and give you full power of being able to utilize this awesome system of super simple charging and an easy way to mount your phone in your Tesla. If you've got one of those phones and you want to utilize this super sleek system, definitely check out those cases today. Installation is also super simple here. The MagBak wireless charger has 3M adhesive built on the back, so you just unpeel this and stick it right to the corner of the screen, just fits like a glove. And also it's got a super long USB cable too, so you can sort of route it around to get that perfect cable management, tuck it away, and have it all installed, looking great in like less than 5 minutes. I am just a huge fan of this super premium, super pristine MagBak wireless charger. If you guys want to check it out for yourself today and pick one up for your Tesla, I will leave a link down below, so check that out for yourself today. Again, you guys gotta get one for your Tesla. I highly recommend it. So check it out for yourself today and pick one up for yourself today at the link right down below. Which leads me to sort of my next point here, and one of the reasons why this is such a big deal is that there are really only 2 places you can charge your EV. That's at home or not at home. And there are plenty of superchargers and public chargers available, and I get it, you have access to that. But one of the sort of perks of owning an EV, and something that Tesla really pushes you to, is charging at home. They don't want you to rely on superchargers as your main primary source of charging for many different reasons. I actually did a video that is either out right now or not out yet that details how I ruined my battery by basically supercharging all the time. If that video is live right now, I'll leave a link to it down below. If not, subscribe because it's coming soon. But you do not want to rely on superchargers as your primary source of charging. Third-party charging is another thing. I mean, there are charge points and EV Go's and Electrify America stations. There are stations you can use, but unless they're at a really convenient place, like they're at your office or they're at the gym or someplace you're usually an hour or two, a couple times a week, or maybe once a week, it's not going to do you a whole lot of good. So I think really for most people, the goal is to charge at home. And most people who get an EV, one of the big draws is I never have to go to the gas station because I can just plug in at home and, just do it that way. And if you are a first-time EV buyer or driver or a potential EV buyer, let me break down basically the 3 ways you can charge at home. You can trickle charge off of a very standard 120-volt outlet, and as the name suggests, you're getting just a trickle of a charge because you've got a big battery to fill up with not a lot of power. So you will charge your car, but it's a very slow charge. It's probably like 2 or 3 miles an hour, depending on the cable and the car. It can be very, very slow. I am doing it right now with my car, and trust me, it's not the way to go. Definitely use it as a last resort. It's better than nothing, but it's really not ideal. The second and most common thing that people do is use some kind of higher voltage outlet or receptacle. This is a NEMA 1450 plug, a NEMA 1430. Maybe you've got a dryer plug in your garage. Maybe you're in a newer construction home and you have what's called an EV charging port just sort of built on the wall right there. This is a sort of higher voltage outlet that's able to charge your car much faster. So you're able to plug in that mobile connector there with the appropriate connector on the end of the receptacle. And then the other end goes in your Tesla and you're able to charge, I think it's like 20 to 30-ish miles an hour, depending on sort of the cable and depending on the receptacle in the car. It's a much higher rate of charge. And basically in a few hours, you can take your car from empty to full, especially overnight. And that's sort of the best case scenario is if you can plug in at home with sort of a 240 volt outlet, you're golden and it's just basically perfect. Trust me, I had that in my other place. It was amazing. It was amazing. And then the third way to go is to either install and purchase Tesla's more pricey wall connector. This is, I think it's $400 right now from Tesla themselves. And it basically can charge your car a little bit faster. It's neater, it's sleeker, or you can buy some other level 2 charger. There are a number of ones on Amazon. There are a number of ones you can find. Usually even your utility company might give you a rebate on one if you buy one of their preferred partners. But there are a number of different, sort of solutions you can install in your garage to charge your car up. But I think for most people, the cheapest, easiest way to go is by using that Tesla mobile connector because you can basically plug into whatever outlet you've got and charge up your car. Okay, so if you do want to get a mobile connector with your car, what do? Well, if you order a car like fresh from Tesla, there is an option right there to buy it and add it to your order for $200. The problem though is that it's in and out of stock all the time. As of filming this video, the delivery window is sometime between August and October. Of course, it could change with the screenshot you're seeing, but as I wrote the script, that's what it was. And you're probably gonna be okay. It's probably going to arrive by the time your car comes in, or you get really lucky, you get your car way sooner, and then you're waiting on that cable. And if you get your car early and you don't have that cable, you're sort of stuck because your only way to charge is to either buy a third-party level 2 charger, you buy the Tesla wall connector, or the wall charger, which is $400, or you have to rely on public charging. All right, so what can Tesla do? What are the solutions to this problem, and what would make people less angry? Well, I think what Tesla could easily do is offer this as a choice at checkout that says, hey, look, some people might not need this. Maybe you've got another way to charge. If you don't need the mobile connector by default, let's just have you check a box to opt out. And then, we're saving the planet and we're not having these waste away. And if you don't need it, don't take it. That's definitely an option. But those who are buying for the first time, they get it. The other thing Tesla could do is put a limit on this for one per household. So, hey, if you already have a Tesla and you've got one, then we're not going to let you get any more unless you want to pay extra for it. One for free for, each customer or each household. That's another way that can go. I don't think removing it from everybody entirely is a great look, especially when they're so hard to find. On all this stuff, what are your guys' thoughts? I know some of you guys totally disagree with me. You think I'm wrong. Do you think that Tesla is doing the right thing here? Do you think the mobile connector is just unnecessary and people don't need it? Do you think opening up superchargers is a good thing and I should just, stop talking about it and just let Tesla do its thing? Or are you of the opinion that the mobile connector not being included is a really big deal? It seems so small. $200 compared to a $60,000 car isn't a big deal, but it is a big deal. And especially as many people get their first EV, not giving them a way to charge it out of the box, so to speak, just seems crazy to me. So anyways, what are your thoughts on this? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Let me know your thoughts down below. How can Tesla fix this? How can they make it right? And what is your preferred way of charging your car? As always, I appreciate you guys watching. Thanks so much. I'm Robert Rosenfeld, and I'll see you all in the next one.